Hey, thanks for joining us on the Eat Crunchy podcast. We are three sisters on a journey towards healthy lives using Weight Watchers to get there. We'd love to hear about your journey as well on our Facebook page or at eatcrunchy.com.
Hey everybody, it's Lisa, and we are excited to have you for our podcast number 11. So today we're going to talk about two topics. One is the concept of deprivation and when you feel like things are not available or you're trying to stop yourself from eating certain things and how that affects your behavior. And then we're also going to talk about how we're feeling now that we've had a little bit of time eating more healthfully and just how that's improved our physical bodies. So on the topic of deprivation, this is something I've been thinking about a lot because I think that it's really controlled a lot of my behavior for years. I feel like the various times when I have had less money, there was a time when, you know, it was sort of a treat to have something that was special. And when you have that thing that's special, like ice cream or cake or something that you can't afford a lot, I used to think, you know, I got to have it all now because I don't know when I'm going to ever see it again. And then I've had other times in my life, especially as I was growing up and trying to lose weight, where I would say, okay, well, I'm going to lose weight by not eating these 5 types of foods or something. And I feel like my whole weight loss efforts have been almost a study in trying to make myself live in the world of deprivation. And then that's caused me to just completely go off the handle and go the other direction and just crave the foods that I've told myself that I can't have.
That's interesting.
So I guess I'm just wondering, one way I'm trying to work with it, I switched over to Simply Filling, trying to focus on being full, understanding intellectually that, there's another ice cream cone out there. I don't have to have this one. Things are not going to disappear just because I didn't have this particular cookie. There's more cookies in the world. But I'm just curious, do you guys feel like you'd struggle with that and how have you dealt with it?
Yeah, I think I struggle with that. I think for me it's like a stress relief. I get out, I get to enjoy, I'm going on a date with my husband or I'm going to dinner with my friend, and that's my stress relief. And I don't get to do this very often, so I should treat myself. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm going over my points consistently because I'm going out, then clearly I do it frequently enough that I can take advantage of it whenever it comes. Right. If I wanted to, I should make good choices for most of the time, and then that doesn't mean I'm never going to treat, but it's happening frequently enough that I can stay within points.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, I think isn't it strange that we feel like that thing that's in front of us, if we don't have that thing, our bodies are just, our bodies crave it. And it's if we don't have that cupcake that we're looking at, it's there's no other cupcake anywhere. I mean, it's just a strange behavior that over time we've come to crave, or at least I feel like I have come to crave certain things so much, that I want that thing and I have to talk myself off of it. Rebecca, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I think that the only time that I really experience that deprivation is when I'm in the midst of, and I think it sets off the yo-yo process that I'm oh, I need to constrict this for whatever reason. And so I do that. Sometimes it's natural because you're sick or something like that, but sometimes it's because of weight loss or feeling like if I eat a certain kind of a food and then I am limited on that. And then I can do that sometimes for days or weeks. But then there's going to be a time that I want to kind of compensate for that, and then it creates this yo-yo effect where that I overeat, and so that I have to undereat another time. And so I haven't actually experienced much of that with Weight Watchers. I think there's been one time that I had that experience where I was trying really hard to set a certain goal weight, and I was doing all the things that I knew how to do, and sometimes my body cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. And after a week and a half of being just so perfect on the way I'd wanted to do things, I didn't hit the weight and I got discouraged, and it kind of flung me the other direction. And that's when I decided I needed to stop giving up specific goal weights and expectations for hitting those things, because I felt like it fed into that.
So I'm thinking when you were talking, Rebecca, there's I think there are two things that I kind of thought. The first thing was, sometimes I tell myself it's not that I can't have that. I'm not depriving myself of that. It's not that I can't go have a donut. It's that I can't have it right now. And maybe tomorrow. If I still want it tomorrow, I'll go get it.
Sure.
And then I've kind of told myself that over and over again. And so because when I get there, maybe the next day. And so just kind of holding off on it. And just seeing if I still want it later, or if there's something else in the meantime that might satisfy me and make me, forget about it. The other thing is, sometimes I tell myself logically that if I don't know, in terms of like, it's like I don't want to deprive myself, but there is some satisfaction in going the whole week and being like, I did not have any chocolate today. For me, that's quite a victory. Or not today, but the end of the week, like saying I didn't have any chocolate at the end this week. That's quite a victory for me. And so, I don't know, there's part of me that sometimes says the satisfaction that you're going to feel at the end of the week by like hitting whatever it is, that I've deprived myself of, or I hate to say it as deprivation, but really it's almost like the training of the body. Like I can go a week without chocolate and I will have conquered that, that desire.
Sure. And it's a tough balance too, because on Weight Watchers we're sort of told nothing is off limits, but that's a little bit of an exaggeration because obviously you can't have whatever you want whenever you want, right? Theoretically you can have a little bit sometimes. But there are times when, like, that little bit, I know that if I let myself have that little, maybe this is what you're saying, Heidi.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It's going to turn into a lot, like a boatload.
For me, I know that I have to, like, chocolate is my thing. I love chocolate. I could eat it all day long, bathe in it, and drink it. I mean, I love chocolate.
Yeah.
So, like, I know that if I have a little bit of chocolate, it will not be a little bit of chocolate. Unless there's not any chocolate in my house or in a 5-mile radius, but even then I'll order it on Amazon. So, like, it'll be in my house within 2 hours. So, I just feel like, for me, I don't know that, there's some weeks that I know that I'm not capable of giving in to just a little bit.
I feel like that's one thing, though, that Weight Watchers has helped me with, is being able to say, instead of saying I can't have that, which is what I used to say, anytime I want something, I say to myself, you can have that anytime you want. Do you want it now? Do you want it later? Do you want it both? And there's something about kind of giving myself the freedom to eat it that takes away the urgency to eat it. So this morning, for example, I have an early morning class that I teach, and I took donuts, and they were fresh out of the fryer or oven, however they do it. They smelled so good. I was like, I really want a donut. I don't want to use all the points for a donut. I ate half a donut. I threw the other half out the window to the birds.
Good job.
But it's like I could have it. I made a choice about having it. It wasn't a default or a reaction. It was because it was a very mindful and thoughtful process. And I can have a donut today if I want to, but I can also choose to use those points for something else. And so that's been really helpful for me, of just giving me more options rather than making me feel so constricted. I identify with that feeling that you talked about, though, Lisa, that there are times that it just feels like, why have you taken all of my food away?
Well, yeah, and I feel like, no, I appreciate that. I feel like one thing that's helped me recently is to really try to articulate to myself, what are those things that feel like treats that are still, healthful, and making sure that I know how to get to those things so that when I want something, I don't pick the wrong thing. So, for instance, I have recently discovered that I'm going to mispronounce it because it looks like the word pho, but everybody says it's pronounced pho. Have you heard this? It's pho, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I, too, was shocked.
It's pho, people. But anyway, it's so good. It's so good. And they give you so much broth, and you can get them that are like really low points. And I just feel like that's just an example of something that I've ordered like a lot recently, because it makes me feel like I have plenty of something in front of me that I can just sit there and sip, and it fills me up warm. It's warm when it's cold outside and everything. But it's just the concept of like, there is plenty. I don't have to, my mind and my body don't have to invent a craving for something that's not a problem. So that is the first topic that we're going to talk about.
Before we move on to the next topic, can you tell me a little bit more about pho? It's just, I know I've never ordered it myself. My husband has, but like, it's just a broth-based soup, and inside of it, is it like chicken and tofu?
So they usually have noodles that they'll put in them.
And the noodles aren't high in points?
No, because it's not a ton. I mean, at least but the broth is so good. It's just rich, yummy broth.
So but
it's like chicken.
Feels like such a treat to have, I imagine.
It does, yeah. I mean, and I know at its height, it's just kind of like, I guess, fancy soup, fancy chicken broth soup. But like, some of the places that make it, they just know how to flavor it just right, and it's really good. You should try it.
I will have to try it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that side note. I was just really curious.
No, it's cool. Okay, so just for our second topic, I guess I was thinking it would be nice to sort of check in on several months into this, if we've felt like physically...
Speaking of deprivation, how do you physically feel?
Well, just things that like, are we feeling stronger? How's your body feeling? Like for me, like I have really bad back pain And when I was at my highest weight, I had really a lot. It hurt so bad just to go short distances. It felt like my spine was like grinding into each other, and it just hurt like crazy. And so now that I've lost weight, like I can walk around quite a bit without having back pain. So that's just one thing. I just wondered if you guys had anything you wanted to share.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a lot more energy right now. So probably about a year ago, I noticed that I started taking 4 o'clock naps in the afternoon. Like, I would finish working and then I'd, snuggle up with the kids and we'd be playing in the playroom or something, and I would sit down on the beanbag and kind of take myself a little siesta. And I've noticed that after a few months of being on Weight Watchers, that kind of stopped. And so I don't know did I have a little sleep apnea going on and it was waking me up and I was tired. I don't know. I've never been sleep studied before, or is it just that, I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but I don't feel so tired in the afternoons. Like I can go a whole day and not feel like I need to take my little siesta at 4 o'clock. So
yeah, now that you mentioned it, I used to take a lot more naps too. So I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
It didn't occur to me at the beginning. It was a few months in, and just having more energy in general. So like, I mean, like even just going to go get the mail. I'm like, I'll do that when I go out to the car next. It's like I'm just gonna go get the mail. And I don't like try to bundle my activities together so that I have to do less. I just go do it and feel good about it.
I think I still do that.
Well, there's an efficiency.
Of course.
I mean, if you're going to
not laziness, it's efficiency.
For me, it was laziness, but for you, it'd be efficiency.
It's laziness.
So I guess those are the two I'm thinking off the top of my head. I will also say that I didn't previously want to go to the doctor because I didn't like going in and being the same weight or greater than I was before. Not because the doctor had like made such a big deal about it, just because I knew it.
Yeah.
Even my chiropractor, who doesn't weigh me, I didn't want to go in. And the last few months I've gone to doctor's appointments and like followed up with my chiropractor and done the things that I had kind of been putting off for. I don't know. It's been a while.
So speaking of doctors, I had a doctor's appointment and my doctor noticed my weight on the chart from the last time I was there until now and gave me like high praise.
They properly praised you.
They did. Good. And he talked about it in such a way, and I was asking like, what are some things I might need to do to be healthy moving forward and or to make sure that I don't have problems moving forward. And he said, well, I mean, I know you're working really hard on that weight and it's showing. And so he acknowledged the fact that this is still something I need to do, but did it in like a cheerleader sort of a way. So I was like, yeah, made me feel really excited to get good praise from a doctor.
You could say, you can follow me at Eat Crunchy.
I went to my doctor and she looked at and it actually had been the first time that I'd seen her, but it was in the same network of doctors that I've seen before. So they had my weight history and she noticed my weight loss. She did not praise me sufficiently, though. She's like, I see you've lost a little bit of weight. And I was like, lady, I've lost 10% of my weight. Like, I need more praise. So I'm glad that he praised you sufficiently that you felt, praised.
They didn't all take the cheerleading class in doctor school.
I know. I was really disappointed that it wasn't more praise because, I mean, I know that it was only 10% of my weight, but dang it was 10% of my weight.
That's a lot.
That was a lot. So, anyway.
Well, good job, everybody.
Another thing. Oh. My heels hurt less. So I used to have, I think they're called heel spurs when you walk and you get the pain on the back of your heels. I don't get that pain anymore.
Seriously?
Yeah. True story.
I have, so like everyone listening is going to know like every medical problem wrong.
Here's our ailments.
But I have plantar fasciitis.
Share your ailments too.
I have plantar fasciitis and heel spur and I have to wear special shoes. I would love a day when that doesn't hurt so bad. I mean, you can sort of fix it with the right shoes, but it would be nice to be able to walk around barefoot more.
I only wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
364 days a year.
I am not there. But I don't know. Some people have it who...
Aren't there 365 days a year?
There is, but it got so cold here in Texas, I took those shoes a couple weeks ago.
You said that on purpose. You said that on purpose. Oh my gosh. All right, this is the comedy show. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time for podcast number 12. And catch us at eatcrunchy.com or Facebook.
Or eatcrunchyblog@gmail.com.
Have a good week.